Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Turn Right Machine Works. My name is Keith, and we're just going to follow up. We're actually following everybody else. There's a lot of videos out there already on the Bar Z Summer Bash 2017. Some of them are just on the events that happened there, and some of them were on the Clash of the Bash. I like the live feed to actually show a lot of things, because when I'm up there doing my own demonstration and everything else, I miss out on some of the other events and activities that are going on, and the live feed actually shows you everything that went through. There was a live feed on the night before. Here's that link. And then the day of the event, here's this link. All right, you know, some of us were wondering if we were actually going to get there, including myself. And I was held up in Phoenix, and we were even put on an airplane and taken out to take off, and then they had to have the ground crew come out and try to start our second engine, which didn't. And then we went back in, and anyway, I ended up having a trip into Palm Springs, and then get shuttled over in a van with a bunch of others over to Ontario. Eventful. I was really glad to see a lot of wives and also kids there. Brad Jacob and Jim Bollinger had their kids there at the event, and many wives, Karen and the rest of the girls all going, hey, where's Vanessa? And of course she had to stay here to take her grandfather's banner, her ship banner, in the parade of blessing the fleets, and you take it from the Catholic Church down to the wharf, and then after the banners and the people are blessed, and they bless the fleet there. It's an event, and it's on that same weekend every year. So Vanessa missed it last year, and she stayed here to do that. She was missed, and I let her know. So you know, but I was grateful to see family activity being brought into the bash there. That was really cool. I also want to give a thanks for an added a video clip, and I put it in this little clip here that you're going to be seeing. I actually forgot to turn on my microphone, and so I was missing that, but with the added footage, I was able to dub the sounds together and kind of bring out my sound there a little bit stronger, so you can hear through the background activity, but it's all blended in there. And it's this clip that I have is the starting introduction to my display there at the bash, and I've got the first time jitters there a little bit, but things really smooth out. And later on that day, I wasn't even video, and I was just really involved into the demonstration and the crowd and answering questions, and I was even taking and doing demonstrations to answer the questions, and a little interaction of actually showing that situation right with the shaft. It was pretty cool. I really enjoyed myself this year, more so than, I mean, I've been twice, and I've enjoyed both years, but this year was over the top, and that's the consensus from the rest of the guys as well. I have to, the live stream is actually going to show a lot of goofing around as well, and those, you're not going to catch those unless you watch those live streams. But I give you an instance that things that aren't on videos, and we went back to the hotel for a break, and so anyway, we're heading back to the bash grounds there for the evening, and Bruce Whitman was riding with me, you know, because he was normally riding with Tom Lipton, and so we're riding up the hill to the bash, and Bruce answers his phone, and it's Tom texting him, and he says, "Are you ready to go?" And he texts back real fast, and he's going, "I'm riding with Keith. His donkey smells better." You can't, where does he come up with this stuff? So, Bruce really enjoy. John Mills and Deb, I got to sit down and have breakfast with them a couple mornings, and I really enjoyed getting my hugs. They're new to the bash this year, and it was just fantastic. Emma Emma Ritson. She, you know, she's one of the What's in Your Box Toolbox winners, and she came over there, and I got some hugs there, and I also gave her size shirt in the What's in Your Box Toolbox giveaway t-shirts there, and there was some other new faces there that just, you know, awesome. Toby showed up. You'll see him in watching my demonstration there in a video clip here, and you'll see some others in there. And this year my idea was to put the cameras facing out, and of course it is such a short room, and hopefully next year I have a little different camera. And I think the word is also that the live feed is going to be, we're going to add a microphone to that next year, and that's going to be a directional microphone that will be able to focus and really bring out what you want to hear during the video, which is going to be super neat as well. All right. Now, Adam and I had the poster drawing, and that's in the live feed as well. Now, I wasn't able to take my camera and go down and get a lot of footage, and I was just playing more, being involved with it. I do have, at the end here, I'm going to actually have a little segment there, and anybody that wanted a selfie, I also, or a photo with me, I also took one, and so that I had it added into the collection as well. Now the drawing, when Adam and I went down to start the clash, we brought down the poster, and we both signed it, and then we had the random drawing there, and Stefan Fifield was the winner of it, and Stan sent that off because he actually had some other things going over to Stefan, and he sent that to Stefan. So I want to thank for the participation of everybody in here, and I will add the photos of the contenders with their shirts at the end here also. And congratulations once again, Stefan. Okay, and so I'm unpacking the boxes here, and needless to say, you probably already found out in some of these other videos that are out there, but we brought the belt home to hang out for another year. All right, I love Adam, and you know, I think out of all of us creators, Adam and I probably have the most in common as far as our line of work and our capabilities in the machinery, except for our age there. I've got a little bit on him on that, and you know, I get laughing at it because in the comments you see, well, Keith got the Rutland and he's been practicing on that little four-jaw and everything else. So the other 40 years of experience has nothing to do with it. You know, a lot of people know my history coming up through the shipyards and working on the big stuff, just like Adam is. And I probably ran a lathe for about 2 years. I had like a 24-inch lodge and ship lathe that was one of my favorites to run, and I think I ran the four-jaw constantly for my first 2 years of the lathe before I even got in. You know, I used to go, well, I'd like to use that three-jaw, or ooh, a six-jaw, you know, and but I was swinging gate valves and doing seats and all kinds of things like that. So that oddball chucking is what I learned on, you know. So, but I mean, in a lot of my videos, you saw my three-jaw. In fact, I just put it in day before yesterday because I had an order of harpoon heads to do, and you don't want to sit there and four-jaw harpoon heads all day. So you just want to slam them in there, and it was a production of turning one in and doing a bore on the other end, and some simple steps. And the three-jaw is just a repeatable tool that you can quickly put it in there. And if I had a collet holder for this lathe, I'd probably run it in there. But this has got the meat to get it done quick. So anyway, what else is new? Oh, I got a new T-shirt campaign with TeeBlaster. And here's the link. All right, my new design, designed by Quinn Berry, and it actually was going to be used in another creator's artwork there, and he decided not to, but we kind of smooshed my my logo in with the artwork there. And this is not just for 4th of July. In fact, I'm actually late for 4th of July, but this follows along with my theme, Let's Repair America, one project at a time. And so anyway, I'm running this TeeBlaster campaign right now, and you can grab your shirts. One thing I did, I took a poll on my Facebook, and I asked whether you wanted pockets or non-pockets. And I made this shirt available either way. All right, so you can get it with a pocket or without a pocket, and it's your option. And they're available in black only for the first run here. I also have talked to Brian at TeeBlasters, and we will be setting up a storefront so that you'll be able to buy any of my shirts in any size that you want at any one given time, so that I'm not having to stock inventory here at the house. Not that I won't have some here, because I do like somebody stops by here and being able to hand them one here at the shop. So all right, let's get on with the video, and this is just a demonstration on straightening shaft. Stainless steel 304 is what I'm using, and then I show you a little extra couple tips in there on setting up and running and checking faces and peripheral or your OD. All right, let's take a look at it now. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Turn Right Machine Works here at the Barzy Summer Bash. I really thank you very much for showing up and also showing the patience and waiting for me to finally get to it here. I went ahead and this is 304 stainless steel, and I ordered just 2 pieces out of McMaster Car, and it's just down the road here, and they brought them off. And I ordered this because I know that it never runs true, and probably a lot of you have gotten material and you get it and it never runs true. But you like to put it in the lay straight, and you should put it in the lay straight, whether it be stainless steel, or whether your alloy is. And being able to get it straight, to run in there, you're not doing the phoning, pressing and moving around and making your shaft right where you think it's true, and then do your machine work and then let it out and put it on a set of rollers instead of V-blocks or in the item, bearings, whatever, and then it's running out. I specialize in marine shafting, and that's where I learned to do the heat straightening, and I'm sharing it with you. I shared it last year, and I hope to go in a little bit more depth with it this year. So I'm open to all questions. There's been plenty that have been going on all morning, and they're good questions. Everybody learns from asking the questions, so don't leave something unsaid. Last year, one of the biggest, looking back on my video, there's a gentleman that asked a question about, we're not set up on a precision granite table, and we're not working off of precision. You've got to picture, we're working on the axis of the shaft, and the boat is the best example of a shaft, just like a pump, between 2 bearing points, and those bearing points could be anywhere. If you actually jack that shaft up, or the pump casing, you would be one bearing would be higher. They would still be in line with each other, and that's what these rollers do, is they pivot to stay in line with the shaft. And I'm going to purposely jack this up and make it run into, and we're going to do some facing on that shaft there. So the boat, you got the engine cup and a forward bearing and an aft bearing here. There's no need to put an indicator on the hull of the vessel because it's no relationship to it, and that's why these rollers, if you just think of it as that way, that these will work no matter what surface you have them on. So there's really no need to have a granite table to work with this, because we're not measuring anything in relationship to the granite to prove it's running true. So with that said, I went ahead and I mapped this out, and you can see we're probably about 20 right there, pretty close to it. And 10, I have a 0 here, a 0 here, and 12 and 9. All right, so what I'm going to do is last year I had 2 indicators and it's pretty hard to keep up with both of those indicators. So I'm going to go and play with this and I'm going to face the indicator that way for part of the demonstration, and I'll point it that way for the other half of the demonstration in the spots that I'm working here so that everybody gets to see it moving. But I need to see it moving myself so that I know where I'm going. And last year was a little confusing just because, what do you mean your indicator does such? Because you can actually have a difference in that distance right there. All right. Also, both of these shafts have got about a thou and a half in a couple of places where they're not round. But I'm not gonna worry about that amount there. So and it's all in relationship to what we're working with. And so within a couple thousands is what we want to do, and we're going to go ahead and we'll bring that. Now, lots of times I was really hoping for more of a corkscrew or a difference there instead of a bend, because we all pretty much understand a straight, parallel, inline, progressive bend. But if you have a high here, and then a high over here, and then a high over here, I was really hoping that one of these really had that. And I have some, but it's not far enough really off of there, but I'd explain it physically right here. And if I had a high here and a high here, and then I was back over here in this plane, I would go ahead and I would bring my wrists in like this. And I would work one point of it, and then after that we'll start working out past it here. Alright? So right now I'm going to go ahead and fire off, and we'll go ahead. Now I've got a 10 here and a 9 here and a 20 here, but I'm in logic that 10 is pretty close to being half of that distance there with the 20. This goes to 12 and then it drops down to 9 over here, so it's a little bit of a longer leg over here. But I'm still, my best guess is to think that I can go ahead and control my first sweet spot right there, so that's what I'm going to do. Now I take and just so it's up here on the top here. I mark the low and then I come to the high. And the high is what I want to go ahead and heat up and contract. Now when you heat something you grow it. Well, when it cools down, you're contracting it tighter than it was before, and that's why you're working the high side. We know that if you heat it, it'll bend it out, but it's the amount that you actually get to suck the thing back in that you're going to be controlling the bend of the shaft. Every time you start with a new shaft, your first sweet spot is gauging how long you hold it on there and how fast you get the water on there. And the method is what I'm showing you. The experience that you gain with each shaft that you go lets you know more of what's going on and how fast to do it. Now I'm not trying to do a real aggressive flame, especially this only a 1 inch diameter. If we were working an 1.5 inches or so, I might go ahead and get like a number 3 tip. That would be, that question might come up: how much heat, or what size tip, or what size material, and it would progressively grow. But this nice straight tip here that Stan gave me, and it's still as clean as it was the last time all right, and I'm not trying to, burn my indicator on purpose because I'm giving it to Stan, but I'm going to go ahead and get real close here. Okay, now I went ahead and I heated it up and I saw the needle was moving relatively slow, so I kind of held it a little bit longer. Your spot or your discoloration here can come off with Scotch-Brite or anything else, so you're not causing any damage by that. We're not bringing it into a molten state. And I don't think I've had any shaft where I actually did bring it to a molten state at all. So we're not really deforming anything on the shaft here. All right, and then we go ahead and we roll it around, and now we have a new 0, which will be there, and we're down to 12 thousandths right there. Okay, I'm going to flip this around this way here. We'll do the same thing here. There's 0. And our higher right there at 12. Okay, I could have went a little bit more on my heat there. We're 10. Alright, so I can increase the heat a little bit faster, and I'm going to hold it a little bit longer. Woo! And a little less. Now I give it a little tap at the end, and that's because that's all you need to shock the draw that you created.
Oh yeah.
Alright, so we're down now to about 6 thousandths there. And we're going to go ahead and switch our indicator over here. Now before I go for this, I'm going to go ahead and just double check on my 10 here. And this is almost bouncing up and down the amount that the thing is not round. You see that it's about 2 bounces. Okay. And the 9 over here. That really is taking a high and it's taking a low, but it has a flat spot in it as well. See the scroll here. That's about 5. Right now I'm running about a 3 right there. So I'm going to go ahead and come down this way here because I believe more of it's down here. There's 0, there's like 8 where that 12 was. We still have 8, but it's like a double flat right here. Right next to it's almost like 3 fluxing back and forth.
So you're measuring a flaw.
Yeah, I'm measuring a lot of egg shape in the material itself. Alright,
So you have to do like a total indicator reading to get an idea.
And I'm jumping there. That side there is basically as straight as its roundness. And this is jumping up and down as well. Alright, I'm gonna
started keep 20 thousandths out when you started?
Yeah, it was 20 out here in the middle. And right now I'm running about 2, but I mean it's giving a flat spot in there as well. And actually you can almost feel in this side right here, this side of the shaft is really, it's cut, but it should have been that end, you know what I mean? I mean, how many people order something that's like 30 inches and you get that in on one, all right? And you need that in on both, you know? You got it? There we go. I got it. Thank you. Okay, now I drop shipped this coupling and we played around on it and we got it mounted on here. We had to do a lot of hand sanding and really monkeying around yesterday. It was kind of comical. And this one here is really, it's running like 3.3, something like that. Let's see if it's still holding in that today. Yeah, it's pretty close to that. Now, lots of times you want to fully check out a shaft peripheral or the run out on the ODs of the shaft, and you want to check out face readings on the end of the shaft. What I've done is I've created a stop, solid mark right here. The angle. Stan put a center drill on the end of it for me. And we got one of screw balls here because he didn't have a solid bearing there. And so I put it in the center there. After I lift this in, so the physics is running it downhill. You spin it, I mean, you can fuss around with these, so you got it. It's preferred to be able to spin and draw one way, so it looks like it's drawing when it comes towards me. So now this thing is running true like this, and it's not tracking like this. A lot of times you'll have shafting rollers and you'll have it set up and it'll track on you one side to the other, and it does nothing for you for reading on the end of here. But with this ball and a setup like this, you're actually able to track this, and I think I had 2000s here on the run out. Once it hits. All right, and the high, I marked it here. Yeah, right there. All right, now I'm going to heat a spot right here, and then we're just going to, I want to verify that, you know, when you put on a coupling on the end of a shaft, if you put it on a straight shaft and it's Boris concentric and you do a fit and face on it, when you go to put it on again and you repeat it, or put it on another shaft that's not straight, you're gonna be picking it up in another position, and how important it is to have this face as much as this. If this face is running out 2 and at 4 inches, then it would be 2000s here, 4000s there, you know, 8 or 12, and it will multiply down to here, and this is actually trying to force your misalignment with the bearing, and that's going to be dragged. So this is basically alignment, but it has to run true. Otherwise, it's going to be the same as a whip in the shaft here. All right. Now, I'm just for kicks. I'm just trying to hit the low here. Probably play with this thing right here, might do it. Okay, there's a low right there. So if I come up to the high, right here, I want to suck it. I want to bring that face this way here. So actually, I'd be wanting to contract out here, which this is your highs right here. All right, and I just happened to read what my mapping was there. So this face and this bore may be pretty true, and that part of the shaft to this 0 might be pretty true. So, and that's about, like I said, there's 2 right here. So let's go ahead and heat that, and let's see what we got out there. It's drifting, but I've taken it out. All right, now we'll go ahead and that was pretty close, Rachel. That's why that worked out. Okay, I don't know where we're at here. All right. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it right there, just for a demonstration on holding it and how far I can make this bend. It is pretty straight. Normally I start with bent stuff and go straight, but and then later on I'll bring it back straight. I'm going to go ahead and I'm not necessarily going to watch the dial to try to go anywhere. I'm going to be looking at the color on the shaft. And I'm going to give it a color of a shaft if I was going to try to move it 1 inch, maybe 15, 20 thousandths. About 18.
Wow.
Oh. Yeah. The more you play with it, and the more you get under your belt, and the more different bends you get, are just going to make you that much faster, and then make this an asset to be working with any of your materials, your raw stocks, and putting them in the machine straight. It's going to pay off big time. All right, I hope everybody liked the little clip on the shaft straightening demonstration and the little extras I had at the end. Don't forget to go to TeeBlaster and check out the new shirts. All right, I'm just saying, get her done.